So this won't mean much unless you've attended the Roundhill Wood site with Burnham Offroaders, but we stopped running that a few years ago. The cost of running it were just untenable. We were just on the edge of making a loss. Anyway, this is the site now. Warnings about being bitten by snakes. I've never seen a snake on this site, unfortunately. It'd be nice to think they were here. They've cleared a lot of that over there, so that was the access track you would drive in on. And then when you attended an event, you'd come down here into the main woods with all the bomb holes down there. They've put the gate in since. I think some of these were our signs that we put up.
I thought we'd go around the outside, couldn't we?
Yeah, we had this site for a long time. The signs that we've been here are disappearing. Remember that little hole? These tree roots would tend to keep people's speed down because, especially when it was covered in mud, you didn't see them and bang, you'd hit a tree root. It was one of the more interesting hole complexes. It's almost impossible to come out of here. So it tends to be a winch job getting out. So here's one of the footpaths that went across the site. When we first had this site, we almost weren't aware of it. There was just the odd signpost, and then a load of extra signposts were installed, and we put in a lot of effort trying to keep this clear. You know, putting wood down so that people didn't drive across the footpath. The landowner is now trying to sort of host some events here, and they've strung this up to mark an area they want people to use, but it's quite a small area. It's basically only these bomb holes, which is fine if you've got a winch equipped vehicle, but a lot of people just want to come and have a drive around in the countryside. Doesn't look like it's been used in a while. There was some great four-wheel drive action here over the years. I got some great shots with the camera of vehicles throwing mud all over the place as they tried to get out of some of these big holes. There was a lot of good times that were had here. So this was that swampy area that used to go around, people used to loop around here, and it's completely reverted to nature now. A few people tried to drive through that. That was a mistake. There's still rubber matting down here. So when we got this site initially, people used to drive across here, but it was making a mess. It was making this very slippery, so we blocked it off over there so you couldn't come through this way. Then over here is the infamous roller coaster, which was always an exciting drive. You drop in from the other end. It seemed to be near vertical, and then here you'd have a boggy bit down the middle. Then you'd have to get up to this sort of lower, this bowl or porridge pot area. It was always a lot easier if there'd been a lot of rain, because then the mud was fairly sort of free floating, but in situations like this it was pretty horrid, thick mud. And this was the entrance to the roller coaster. It always felt extremely steep as you drop down into this. And we went nose down into that mud hole, which the trees now cross. Yeah, you're right, Sally. It was just whatever the weather, whatever time of year.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, we'd be here in the ice,
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
camping in the ice so we can get everything prepared for the next day.
can you see that?
Yeah, there still are signposts here.
Yeah.
That's going back towards the parking area and the entrance. There was a nice little water splash there. So they've now taped that off so you can't get to it if they were holding events, but as I say, it doesn't look like anyone's holding events here. They did put up the coloured rope, and after we'd held our last event, and then said, oh, if you'd like to come back and hold an event, but they still wanted, I think, the same amount of money, but with only a small part of the site available, and they only wanted something like a dozen vehicles, so there's no way you could pay for it. And when we ran the four-wheel drive events, we used to get a chainsaw down here and sort out anything that was blocking these rights of way, so it doesn't look like anyone's doing that now. So the locals are going to be struggling to get along here. More trees blocking the footpath. Again, we'd have sorted that out, but yeah, we're not here now. So that was the Burnham Offroaders site near Tring. We did that for years. It was good times, but we're doing other things now. Most of us have moved on to other stuff. You know, Sally and I are cycling, kayaking, shooting. Other members of the team have got different things. Some still do some four-wheel drive, but yeah, having the losing the site was a bit of a blow, but I guess it was going to happen at some point. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the visit down memory lane. Alright, cheers everyone.